Hey guys, I'm here with Dean Rogers today. He's an awesome investor, really good friend from California market, and I wanted to bring him on and just have him share his experience with REsimpli. Welcome, Dean. How are you, man?
Thanks for having me, man. I'm doing great.
Yeah. Cool, man. Dean, just tell us about yourself, who you are, what kind of investing you do, how long you've been investing, and where do you invest?
Yeah, so I'm a real estate investor. I've been investing for 8 years. Probably got started like a lot of other people where, maybe they were in a job or just getting started working and were trying to figure out what was going to get them to their goals and dreams. And so one Google search after, I found how to get started in real estate doing wholesaling. And so started wholesaling. And the short version of my journey is got into flipping, flipped hundreds of houses, realized that we're really best at finding deals, not flipping a ton of properties at scale. So we pivoted to focusing on wholesaling and building our rental portfolio. So we're almost at 8 figures of a rental portfolio now, and we're a 7-figure business wholesaling houses and the occasional flip here and there, and got a team of 7 and we're rocking and rolling, man.
What market are you in?
So we're in Central California. So intimately called the Central Valley. A lot of small farm and dairy towns all make up pretty decent sized market.
Right. And you don't live in the market that you do investing in, right? You're about 3 hours outside of the market?
So technically from day one of starting, I was living in San Francisco when I first started and was doing it in my hometown in Central California. So it was, 4 hours away at that point, and then moved back down to San Diego, about 6 hours away from the market, doing it all virtually, have a business partner there, and then the rest of our team.
All right, so I wanted to ask you, how long have you been using REsimpli now?
Yeah, so it's been about 1.5 years. We came on board right at the tail end, about fall of 2020.
And what was your biggest hesitation before you kind of moved out? You have a pretty big business. It's not like you're doing a deal here and there. So what was your biggest hesitation about switching to REsimpli?
Yeah, so at the time we were hovering around, 7 to 10 deals a month at that time. Sure, there'd be some lower months and some higher months, but on average around 7 to 10 deals. And the biggest hesitation for me was wasting my time with another CRM. It's almost laughable, but we were using Google Sheets at the time, and we had everything, as good as Google Sheets could be for a poor man's CRM. And everything was color coordinated. And as you could only imagine, extremely time consuming. Everything was manual. Every single thing in our business around acquisitions was manual, even down to tracking the KPIs. You had to go in there and change the number from 10 to 11 calls when you had a call come in for a campaign. Super painful, but it was where I felt like I had the most control, because when I tried to move to other CRMs like Podio, because everyone else was using Podio, I figured, well, I'm crazy if I don't go with Podio because all these other big people are using it. I tried to use Podio, and I'm a technical person. I'm good at, setting things up and figuring things out. I failed implementing Podio 2 times because I just saw the nightmare that was going to be around the configuration and the customization and the constant upkeep to try to make it run for our business. It wasn't until doing further research, Chris Arnold had actually showed me about REsimpli, and just from a small little video on your website, I was super intrigued and immediately booked a demo with your team. I met with Danielle at the time, and then I was like, okay, I gotta meet with the owner of this company. This looks too good to be true. So met with you, and we had a couple Zoom sessions for demos. And just from you showing me what was currently in production and able to use then, and what the vision was, I was completely sold, because I just saw that it was truly built from the ground up on an accounting software where it's going to be able to track everything. So my biggest problem when I first was looking for a CRM, I just needed the basics to be at a high level. The ability to track and manage the lead, the ability to follow up and have automated drip campaigns, to have a phone system that I could text, call, receive, and send text messages. And then above all, maybe the highest priority, was to be able to track all the KPIs, not from a third-party system I had to bolt on and manipulate, but that was truly foundationally in the architecture of how it was developed so that I could have to the penny detail and insight into my business that I wasn't having to spend time to do. Literally, just at your fingertips. You do a transaction and you can see instantly what is taking place in the business. And for me, that was the most powerful thing as a business owner, is to have real live KPIs.
In your opinion, like the biggest value for you has been the KPI, right? I know you and I have talked about it at length.
Well, I geek out over everything, even just like the ability to click on one button that allows you to do one simple thing, just because it's available to be done in a CRM that's built for real estate investors. Even just like the file storage, like tracking your files in there for each individual property, that kind of stuff I get excited about. But there's just so many little things that are simple and complex that are stacked on each other, all in the same CRM, to where I don't spend any time in the CRM anymore as an operator. You know, I used to be in there working every lead and overseeing every lead, and I'm so comfortable with the CRM now and trust the team. And I'm able to see all the updates throughout the day as the different text messages come in, the calls come in. I just briefly glance at them and then I mark the messages unread, and then I'll go check the KPIs, and that's really all I have to do now.
That's the goal for us, is for the owner of the business to be able to come in and just within like a couple of minutes, just get a sense of kind of what's going into the business. And then if they want to drill down, they can click on a specific lead or a specific KPI that they want to look at and kind of talk to their team about. So that's awesome, man. Do you have like a couple of like specific examples of kind of the features that you've used and, you know, they've added value into your business where you might be closing more deals or saving on the marketing costs, whether it be using drip campaigns or tracking your KPIs where it kind of help you, you know, essentially increase your net profit at the end of the day?
Yeah, well, there's so many examples that enhance the way we run our business. Like I was saying, when it comes to the business itself, there's practical things just from like running our team meetings. I used to have to be in there and run our team meetings and have to make sure that we were staying on track and covering every little thing. At this point, because of the way the CRM's set up, when we have our Monday calls to go through acquisitions, I've basically promoted our leads manager to run that whole meeting, and all I do is listen in and give some feedback here and there. So he's able to go through the leads, and because of the ease of use of the CRM, he's able to click through and move through at a good pace all the different leads we have and see all the activity that we have within that lead. We're able to look at, you know, all the notes that our team's taken on the lead detail. And for me as a business owner, where that comes through in an efficiency standpoint, a real life example, let's say I have my acquisition manager say, hey, so-and-so is wanting to move forward at this price. Let's say they want to move forward at $100,000. What I'm able to do now with that phone app is I'm able to pull up phone, go to that lead, and go to our field for ARV. I'm able to see it. What do we have? Oh, we said this house is worth $200,000 fixed up. Okay, well, let's go ahead and move forward on that property. So for me, I don't have to be as invested time-wise as I once did, because all the information is at my fingertips and I can access it right away.
And then it sounds like you've set up systems and processes in your team and given responsibility. Hey, you do this thing, but then you still have supervision of just you can check in at any time and kind of see, you know, if the things are moving as they should based on the data that you have.
And before I wasn't able to do that at all, because even though we were doing respectable amount of business from a legitimate business standpoint, having tools and systems to support our employees to do the best that they could, and for us to have the tools to see the data and understand what's happening. And at this point, now we have real understanding by looking at the KPIs to see where the deal flow is coming, where the leads are coming, where we're spending our money, where we need to spend more money and time. You know, just because of the CRM, I was able to look and see with real numbers. We did over $1 million with our Friends with Benefits program, which is where we're co-wholesaling deals with other people that have brought us deals, whether it's a wholesaler, investor, or realtor. Through that program and through the efforts we're putting in, we did over $1 million in revenue. So I can look at that within a few seconds and know, we need to put more time and effort. So I went and built a website to help with the lead flow of that and capturing that information from those people through Zapier, create an integration, go straight in the CRM. So now I'm creating efficiencies around that program just because of the data I have and know that we need to grow that.
Wow, that's amazing, man, to get to that 7-figure number just through referrals. And then you're basically not spending anything on marketing. You might do a kickback, but then that's net profit to you. That's amazing. Yep. And how many deals are you doing per month or per year now? Just on average, and I'm sure there's going to be some good months.
Yeah.
And not
so
good
our goal of 2022 is do 150 closed deals. Okay. Wow. So that averages out to 12 and a half deals a month. The month of January, we did 14 deals. The month of February, we're at 18, and we still got today left. I'm counting today left because we might have to get a couple more under contract.
That's awesome, man.
We're hoping to blow the goal out of the water, but we want to do at least 150.
That's amazing. And what's your biggest marketing channel? Is it like the Friends with Benefit, or I know you're doing like TV, direct mail, and a few other things, right?
Yeah. I'd say technically speaking, our Friends with Benefits is our biggest revenue channel right now. But, we do TV ads, which has been great for us. We do cold calling, we do direct mail, we do PPC, and the combination of those 4 other make up the rest of our, 50% of our revenue. No doubt that we have a marketing spend on that, and there's a cost per deal for each of those. The combination of them all together, has made up a great revenue generator for us.
That's so amazing, man. I remember like from the call we did year and a half ago, I was blown away with how you had everything set up, such a manual process on Google Sheet.
It was painful,
how much time it was working, people could use pen and paper, but there was no automation. It was like very manual, labor intensive to kind of having automated system now. But thank you so much for coming on the call, man. You've been amazing in giving us feedback, helping us grow. I know you and I like geek out about some tech stuff. We text back and forth about it. So it gets me excited about getting ideas from you. But thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. And credit to you, man, because I think, most business owners, a big CRM like REsimpli, especially in the real estate space, they're focused on kind of their own agenda. They're maybe closed off to receiving feedback from others. Maybe it's because of ego, or maybe they think them and their team have the best ideas. But you in general are so giving with your time. You're so welcoming of feedback, and you put it to work right away, man. And that's one of the things that, again, that is so exciting. Just the first time that we met, I could kind of sense and feel that, and knew that, man, I could be a part of something incredible, and I'm still excited about it. So
awesome. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate your time.
Of course. Anytime.
Thanks.